Hey everybody, welcome to another video review. So this is a happy day. Whenever I get a Joe Dunaway painted Predator piece, it's always a big deal for me. He's been very busy lately, and he has a lot of my projects sort of waiting in line. But he did this one and mailed it in. So I've been waiting quite a bit for just anything from him. It's always sort of like Christmas morning when I get that. I'm a big fan, obviously, of his paint jobs and everything like that. I've been working with him and getting pieces, painted by him for a long time. I think it's kind of scary to think about, but it's I think over a decade, of collecting his work. So I usually have him paint my Naren resin kits. And fear not, he has, I think, 2 of those already in his possession. I'm working on those. But, I can't say recently, but I guess about a year or 2 ago, I managed to get a lot of really, really rare classic Predator kits from a collector who was kind of liquidating his collection. And of those, I got, I think, an almost complete set of the S. Hayes line. And S. Hayes sort of was the premium Predator sculptor before Naren came along to sort of dominate that work. And so these kits are a little bit smaller. They're all 1/6 scale. A lot of Naren's kits are 1/6 scale as well. They're small, but they come like packed, incredibly packed with detail. And in addition to all of that, there's just like this special style. Just like Naren has a special style, S. Hayes, the Hayes kits also have this sort of special style. And it's really unique. They're really, really hard to get. They were never made in very large quantities. And so it was just really lucky that this particular collector was deciding to, get out of the game. And I happened to be at the right place at the right time. And I bought a lot of his stuff. Some stuff that's so rare, it's kind of lost in the mists of garage kit legend, so to speak. And so, Joe has painted quite a bit of those Hayes kits because he's been active since way back. And so to sort of, give him a little break from painting all of my Naren stuff, we decided to go for a few of the Hayes ones. And so this one is called Dark Hunter. And I think the last one I reviewed, there was an Elder. I think there was an Elder Predator that I reviewed. So this one is the second of the Hayes line I had in paint. So this is Dark Hunter. And let's take a look. So once again, this is 1/6 scale. I'm going to start from the base. I really love, again, the detail that these Hayes kits come with. They're small, but they're packed with incredible detail, a lot of richness. And of course, Joe does a great job bringing it out. So here's the base. He's standing on, of course, a rocky base. You can see all the little rocks and dirt. And again, just looking at all the beautiful detail that Joe packs in. He leaves no stone unturned, literally. So just kind of turning around, here's the S. Hayes, mark on that stone. And so the idea behind this piece, the story it's telling, is pretty hilarious in my opinion. It's really cool, and I really love the concept. So here's this Predator. He's standing over the body of, obviously, an alien. This is the head of the alien, and it's kind of modeled. Joe decided to paint this in a flat color rather than gloss, which is fine. And here, if you see between the feet, you can see sort of the torn off stump of the arm and the subtle green blood, acidic, that's staining the rock. You can see the gorgeous detail of of Joe's kind of classic metallic paint, and of course the spotting of the feet. But this is like an alien head. I don't really know where this comes from. This obviously maybe is coming from a AVP, Alien versus Predator Dark Horse mythology, but this is not a typical alien. Maybe it's some sort of a subspecies, but I'm assuming this is the head. It's almost like a cockroach or some sort of bug. And then here is one of the wings, I guess. But I guess whenever I saw this, because this looks so empty, and it looks like, again, another version of the head. And then, of course, when you work your way up, you see that he's holding essentially this alien slug in his hand, and it's dead. You can see the dimple as he's grasping it so tightly. And I always kind of envisioned that this predator had essentially cored the soft tissue and like kind of ripped this this alien out of its shell. So it's almost like you're shunning a crab or a lobster. And for whatever, I mean, I know this is probably ridiculous and has nothing to do with what's really going on, but that's anyways what I always sort of thought about. So that's sort of the story I have in my mind, at least, with what's going on. So let's work our way up. Look at all of the detail here. Again, he does such an amazing job with the gunmetal effects, and no one quite does it like Joe Dunaway when it comes to that. His signature depth, the detailing of the airbrush with all the little camouflage, the spots, the little veining, and unlike future versions, the netting is not mixed media, so this is actually part of the sculpt. And you have to kind of painstakingly paint all the netting itself. And then here's his other hand. He's working along here. You can see the pouch and all of this stuff. The armor again. I mean, he makes the armor look so good. It looks. Remember, this is not real metal. This is resin, but he makes it look like real actual metal, which is just so remarkable. Here's all of it from behind. You can see all the little tiny scratches, the weathering, and then you can see the hand disc. Look at how gorgeous that looks. All of the painted detail, the rust in there, and then of course the folds of the cloth looks really nice. Here's that shiny, glistening alien wrapped around his hand. You can see the little quills, and then the skulls, the bandolier, this knife. So all of this just looks fantastic, the skulls. And again, this is before mixed media, where some of these, like when Aaron would do his pieces, some of these would be mixed media, would be separate. I mean, these are all part of the sculpt, which is pretty crazy. And then here you have the bone necklace, and then of course the money shot, the beautiful head itself. And this is really nice in the sense that his jaws are completely closed. You don't have a lot of predators with completely closed jaws. So you can imagine how hard it is to look at that glistening work, and how hard it must have been for him to get in there and get all that detail. So very nice. All the dreads are not separate. They're all kind of carved of one piece. And then you have the backpack, and then you have the gun with the tubing on all of that. So there's one here you can see. So all of this came in one piece. I mean, basically, the predator himself came in just one single piece, then the base, and then the parts of the base, the alien, and then the arm with the alien slug or the baby alien was one piece. So this comes in one, just one big piece, because that's the way Hayes sculpted his predators. And so when you look at this, again, it's a little bit more unrefined than Naren's sculpts, which are more easily cut apart and stuff. But there's again just something really magical about this this predator. There's like it's like an indescribable style. There's like that S. Hayes style that I can recognize from like literally the room across the room, just like Naren has his unique style, and you can sort of appreciate all the detailing of these pieces of the cannon. Joe putting a lot of nice quills on the crown. This is a little bit of work on the freckles of the crown. He chose a little bit more of a unique color, a little bit brownish versus the normal gray. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate a little bit of variety in my pieces. So I have quite a few more S. Hayes for him. There's a Dark Hunter 2, there's a Hunter Darkness 1 and 2, just off the top of my head. So really looking forward to those. I also have an Invisible Hunter as well. I think I have every major S. Hayes piece. I also have a Predalien as well, and I think a P2. So all put together, it's going to be quite the S. Hayes lineup. And I'm just really, really happy to have them and then have Joe paint all of them up, which is something, again, that if you're a Predator collector or a Predator connoisseur, you'll understand is not common. It's very rare to have all those kits and then painted up, of course, by someone of the magnitude of Joe Dunaway. So here you have it. I'm going to back up. It's nice to have a statue that is actually small enough that you can back up reasonably, and then you can kind of see him in all his glory as we move him around. Again, amazing paint job by Joe. Couldn't be happier. He's gonna go real well with my Elder. And again, looking forward to Hunter Darkness, and I think that's the other one he has of mine. He has Hunter Darkness there, and then later on I'll send him the Dark Hunter 2 and the Invisible Hunter as well. So really, really, really good stuff. So, and again, I hope you appreciate the fact that no matter how much I go in and out, the piece just gives you the impression that there's just so much richness and so much detail in it. You know, you come from this angle and it's just a great color, great detailing, and then you get closer and it just, you lose nothing. That's the thing about a great painter and a great sculptor. No matter how close you get, you just appreciate more subtleties, more variations. You appreciate more of the work. And there's just something again about how Dunaway paints Predators, where everything just seems hyper real. It's something really unique, and then you lean all the way back, you get that panoramic view, and it's just the same thing. Just gorgeous from head to bottom. And I've said this before in some of my other videos, where sometimes beautiful things come in smaller packages, and there's so many. There's this trend toward just overwhelming, ridiculous centerpiece things where the Predators are 1/3 scale. These things are 3.5 feet tall. They're gigantic. They take up the center of an entire room. But again, when you look at what Dunaway can do, and what not S. Spencer, but what S. Hayes can do with a sculpt and a Naren sculpt, I don't think that this is any less than one of XM's huge pieces or whatever. This is beautiful in its own right. So I hope that you enjoy this video. Again, this is almost like it's a work of art. It's a very, very rare. You don't get a chance to see this very often. By Hayes, and then Joe bringing it to life. The last time he painted one of these, I think it's got to be a decade ago, more than a decade ago. So pretty special, pretty honored to be able to have this. Again, this is the Dark Hunter by Joe Dunaway. And until our next review, please do take care and keep safe. Bye.